Hi, I'm Jenny from broken-better.com, here with a vlog on my health and healing update using the advice of the medical medium. If you're following me now and this video is coming to you in real time, it is the end of April of 2020, and I started following the advice of the medical medium in April of 2019. So it's been over a year reading the books and putting what he says into practice. And I'm here to tell you, I have never felt this good. I don't think ever in my life. If you watch my other videos, you can kind of learn more about my symptoms, but to summarize for you, I always felt kind of on the sickly side of things. I was hospitalized for pneumonia and asthma issues as a child. I was on a nebulizer. I had really bad allergies. I had one of those allergy tests done where they put pins in your back with little allergens, and when it was taken off, the doctor just kind of went, she's allergic to everything we tested her for. Like, he was really didn't know what to do with that. My mother was a heavy smoker, marijuana and cigarettes, while she was pregnant with me and throughout my childhood. I was on antibiotics a ton as a kid, and when I started menstruating, I started getting really terrible cramps where I couldn't even go to school or really do anything, and the solution was to put me on birth control at the age of 16 and diagnose me or prescribe me like 800 milligram ibuprofen. And so I started taking those things, and I became a vegetarian at the age of 12, which I think was really the best thing I could have done as far as a decision for myself. And then as a teenager, I was a vegan, and I've been vegetarian pretty much my whole life. And then, so then leading up to, I had my son in 2015, and then after that, I was just tired and cold all the time and anxious, and my menstrual stuff was off, and I just felt awful. And at first I thought it was just breastfeeding, but once I weaned him, it didn't go away. And that led me to go see a health coach, because it seemed like no matter how much I slept, I was just exhausted all the time. Never really experienced this kind of, I'm not a high energy person to begin with. Like, that's just not who I am. I'm not hyper, but I've never experienced this kind of exhaustion and just always being cold. And my health coach let me know that if he were a medical doctor, he would say I was in the beginning stages of Hashimoto's. And I'm glad I went to him, because if I had gone through our HMO, I would not have been diagnosed. My readings were too low, and not everyone tests for the right thyroid stuff. You know, they'd only test for certain markers, and he tested for all of them, and that's how he was able to figure it out. So from there, I changed my diet, went soy, gluten-free, dairy-free. I was already dairy-free. Giving up soy was really hard as a vegan, as a vegetarian. So then I started eating seafood as a way of kind of making up for it. And I was feeling better. Like, my health coach was really working on like gut health with me and things like that. But in my heart, I just felt like I was going to die early. Like, I was just like, I'm just going to die young. Like, I'll probably get thyroid cancer, probably die. And I was just trying to make the most of my life. I mean, I wasn't being dramatic. Like, this is really how I felt. And then a friend of mine talked about the medical medium, how her hairdresser was reading his book with the artichoke on it. And it was about thyroid healing. And I remember getting the book on Libby, and I stayed up all night just reading it and crying, because it was the first time I felt I had hope. Because the way he talks about all the symptoms I had that were supposedly unrelated to Hashimoto's or thyroid issues were all related, because it's all the Epstein-Barr virus. And so that changed my life, and I went full in. So I am sitting here now telling you I feel great. I'm able to keep up with my kids. I not only do yoga every day, but I've been able to incorporate strength and cardio. I'm not tired. I feel good. Like, I guess I drink green tea and sometimes black tea, so I do have a little caffeine, but I don't feel like I need it. I just like it. I like tea and I enjoy it. I don't have those issues. I don't have the night sweats, and I don't have the low energy or being cold all the time, or, you know, sometimes I'd feel like this was just swollen and I couldn't talk or it would hurt. I haven't had a sore throat in like over a year. And every time I'd get sick, I would have this sore throat that would just persist, and everyone would just throw antibiotics at me. It was obviously, now I see it was mono, because the mono virus is, you know, the Epstein-Barr virus. And it was obviously that I was just having mono all the time, and nobody was diagnosing it as that. And it was just constantly resurfacing because the virus was just constantly in my body, and just anytime something would happen, it would just pop up again. And so, you know, there was that. And yeah, I feel amazing. So I want to tell you what I did, and, you know, just kind of like where I'm at now, and just kind of share like how I'm maintaining. So first, I want to say I don't know the medical medium, Anthony William. I would love to meet him. I think he's amazing. I trusted him above medical doctors or other people because he has a divine connection. It's a spiritual belief. So a lot of people are turned off by what the medical medium says, like he's not a doctor, he's not a scientist. No, he's not. But I haven't met a doctor or scientist who can really tell me what an autoimmune disorder is, or can tell me where they came from or how to heal them. And so at this point, it's like if you're watching this video and you're looking at his stuff, you're just ready to believe. You have faith. And if you're ready to take that leap and to go into a faith-based and a believer-based process instead of a scientific process, then you need to, because it's just, you get to the point where you're so desperate and you've tried maybe conventional medicine, you've tried, you know, a naturopath or whatever, and they're going to get you so far, but you're not feeling like good. You're not feeling like how you want to feel. And so for me, I feel great. So I suggest reading his first book, which is blue and has like an x-ray of like a chest. You kind of get to learn his story, maybe build some trust in what he's saying, and you get to see some testimonials. And then from there, I think the book that really helped me is his Life-Changing Foods book, which I have. I take the covers off all my books, but it talks about different foods and talks about what they do and what they, you know, how they help you heal. But the basic things that I did was I quit all what he calls the no foods. So the one that I think made the biggest difference for me personally was eggs. When you think about, for me, you know, scientists and stuff, they'll use eggs to grow viruses and bacteria in petri dishes. That'll be the basis for growing those things, and, you know, like working with vaccines and whatever. There's a lot of egg base in it. Well, that tells me that an egg feeds a virus. Like, that just sounds logical to me. And that's exactly what the medical medium says is, you know, eggs are viruses' favorite food. So right now, if you're watching this in real time, I took my whole family off of eggs as soon as there was talk about the coronavirus. I was like, nobody needs eggs in this house because we don't need to feed any virus that comes into our immune system. So that's one for me, is eggs. Another one is soy. I had a hard time giving it up being a vegan. I'm actually plant-based, as what I would call myself now, because I do eat honey. But it's been a life changer. I recently had it just to try it, and I just didn't feel as good. I felt like really thirsty and just didn't feel as great. So I could eat it, but there's no reason. I don't recommend eating it. It's, you know, that's been hit the hardest with Roundup and other pesticides, which is the real issue. Even if you buy organic, I mean, damage is done. I mean, the pesticides are in the rain and things like that. So we do our best. So if you don't want to give up soy, that one he recommends, you know, if you have to eat it, you make sure you buy organic and try to buy sprouted. The next one he recommends to give up is pork, which I had no problem with. I always hated it as a kid. I always felt sick to my stomach, and the smell of it made me sick. So that's because it's so high in fat that it makes it so that your liver and your body can't detox toxins. It just makes it all full of the fat. So he doesn't recommend eating that. So that was an easy one for me to give up. The next one is dairy, and I never felt good eating dairy. I've always got, like, since I was about 13, stomach aches and stuff from drinking milk and eating cheese, and I actually don't like it, so that wasn't a problem. Giving up gluten has been the hardest for me. I have been gluten-free now for like over 3 years, and I do have dreams of trying like a sprouted wheat bread eventually, and just seeing if I can do that sometimes. I love bread. And that's been really, truly the struggle, you know, just personally. And then he recommends giving up canola oil. Canola oil is a neurotoxin. Nobody should be eating canola oil. So it's very hard because a lot of health foods like granolas and healthier potato chips and things like that have canola oil in them. So that's actually one of the hardest things to go free of, but we've managed to do it. And then the last one is corn. And corn is a hard one too because it hides. Citric acid is made of corn, and citric acid is in so many canned goods and, store-bought things. And right now with the virus going on, I'm not shopping as much, and so I've had to have a little citric acid here and there in like canned tomato products and stuff just because it is what it is right now. And the corn is because it's another crop that's been really mutated by pesticides and things like that, and it's just not the same. He recommends if you have to have corn or you want to have corn, just an organic sweet corn is the best way to go. So I gave up those 6 things. I already had given up the pork, so that wasn't a problem. And then I did celery juice every morning for over 4 months. And so right away when you wake up, don't even brush your teeth or use mouthwash, nothing. You go and juice your 16 ounces of celery juice and you drink it on an empty stomach, and then you wait 15 minutes before you eat. And it's important to drink that with spirulina. So like a couple hours or an hour after, whenever, like later in the day, I would have a serving of spirulina. Spirulina helps get rid of heavy metal toxins, but I feel like it really works best with celery juice. So that's the one that I would take. And then after the celery juice for about a month, I also was drinking either cucumber juice at night or aloe vera juice, so either one. And then I was also juicing ginger, and sometimes ginger with turmeric, and and also having lemon water, which is something I was doing before anyway, so that was like not that much newer to me. And then avoiding the foods he told me to avoid. So that's kind of like stage 1. And I recommend you easing into this. I have another video about what happens when you don't ease into it. So if you want to watch that, I recommend it. And then after that, I did the heavy metal detox smoothie for 2 months. I cannot do barley juice powder in any form. It just is horrible on my stomach, and I personally cannot do it. But I'm able to have the kelp, and I'm able to have other things like that. And the heavy metal detox smoothie is in his thyroid book, so I've pretty much followed those protocols. And then after the 4 months of celery juice and doing those things, I decided to do kind of like a modified version of what he recommended. So I was taking fennel essential oils every day, as well as cat's claw, and as well as cilantro essential oil. So the cilantro is a detoxer of heavy metals. The fennel is for digestion, but it also really helps me personally with menstrual cramps. And then the cat's claw is an anti-inflammatory, and it also just kind of helps with body aches and things like that. And then I was also taking a lot of supplements, ones that he recommends. And if you just go to his website and you look at supplements, there's links to everything. And since, supplements here they're not regulated in the US. So just because someone's saying it's vitamin C or rose hips doesn't mean that's actually what's in there. No one's testing the amounts. You don't actually know how many milligrams you're getting. So going through him, I feel like, okay, I don't have to do the research. Like, he knows, and I just trust. So I recommend that. And I was taking supplements. I've changed my supplements up a few times here and there. And then I started, instead of doing celery juice, I still am, I drink lemon water every morning. It's like I squeeze half a lemon in a glass of water or lime, wait 15 minutes before I eat. And then I try to always eat a lot of fruit in the morning. So in the summers, I was doing fruit only until 12 o'clock in order to give my liver the time to detox. Anything with fat in it makes your liver start working. So if you can avoid eating fat until 12 o'clock, you're gonna help your liver be able to get the toxins out from the day before. And so I was doing that, and I'm gonna do that again this summer once hopefully things open up and I can go back to farmers markets and really getting a lot of fruit to have. I do it when I can, but it's just not always possible. And then in the afternoon, what I do is I juice ginger and sometimes turmeric if I can find it too, together, and I freeze them in little ice cube servings, and I have that every afternoon in a glass of water, and sometimes another glass of lemon water. And then in the evenings, I'll sometimes juice cucumber. And I always have aloe vera juice. I keep that frozen too, just in case my stomach feels off or something, like if we've eaten out or something like that. And that's pretty much what I do. So right now it's following not eating the no foods. I juice celery. I try to juice it 1 to 2 times a week. I buy 1 or 2 stalks when I go shopping. It's like a first world problem. But I really hated buying so much celery and washing it and doing all of that and cleaning the juicer every day. It was just bringing me down. And so with the lemon water, I feel just as good. And then I have the ginger and turmeric in the afternoon. And in the evenings, I always drink tea. So if I don't have cucumber juice or something like that, I have lemon balm tea. Lemon balm is an antiviral. And I was taking iodine. I took iodine for a full year. I just finished my bottle. And he says that's not for everybody. It's kind of harsh on the system. But I was ready to just kick my system's ass a little bit, if you pardon my language. But yeah, I just really wanted to reboot it. So I did all of that, and I'm still following his guidelines. I have corn every once in a while, or corn-based products every once in a while, and same with soy, but I don't do the others at all. And I have no intention of ever eating eggs again. They gross me out. The idea that they just feed a virus, like, I don't ever want to eat them. And then right now, the supplements I'm taking vitamin C, I'm taking omega-3s, I'm taking zinc, and I'm taking cat's claw. I'm taking, I'm taking a lot. So it's just those, but those are the main 3 that I always take. But what else am I taking? Oh, I take spirulina whenever I juice celery. So if I'm having celery juice, I take that. And I take that away from my other vitamins. So I'll take that in the morning and then take my vitamins in the day. Oh yeah, I'm taking a Gaia Energy supplement. And I was taking chaga for a while because I was having heart palpitations here and there, but those have gone away. And then I'm taking ashwagandha in the evenings as we're moving and there's kind of like a lot of stress. So that's part of that. So that's what I'm taking right now. And I drink tea throughout the day, lemon balm, organic green tea, dandelion root, red raspberry leaf, nettle leaf. And yeah, those are my main teas. Sometimes peppermint. And those are all, and I make sure that they're traditional medicinals. That's really the best brand, I believe, for tea. And chamomile. I take chamomile as well. I drink chamomile. So those are kind of those things. On an average day, I wake up, I have my lemon water, and then I make a shake. I'm seed cycling right now. If you're interested in that, you can look at Dr. Jolene Brighton in her work. So then I put the seeds in there, and then I usually do my yoga and my workout, and then I have some sort of snack. It's like a lot of times it's dates and fruit and maybe some nuts. Lunch is usually like a leftover dinner, and then the snacks throughout the day are something I've baked because I know what's in there. Dark chocolate, cacao nibs sometimes, raw nuts and seeds, dried fruit, fresh fruit, those kinds of things. And then dinner is I do a lot of potatoes because it fills everybody up. It's gluten-free. We do lentil pasta, things like that. So we've definitely adapted. The family nobody's like deprived, you know. And I currently feel, like I said, amazing. So part of it was following what the medical medium said to a T for a 3 to 4 month period. I think that's best. And then from there, finding your own, he encourages you to use your own intuition. So following your own intuition into what's right for your body, modifying it as you want. And then exercising, I think, is really important. He talks about that the best kind of exercise is like picking fruit and things like that. Like that's really the best. But he also says yoga is pretty good. So I do yoga. And then I work with my energy. I try to be conscious of my energy and try to keep my energy high by doing things like listening to beta brain waves and working on my chakras and my energetic body. And then the thing that has really healed me, and if you're watching this, you already know that I'm a spiritual person, or you are looking in the medical medium, so you're probably a spiritual person too, because otherwise you wouldn't be looking into his stuff, is believing that I'm healthy. My inner dialogue, and my words have always been, I'm a sickly person. I have a weak immune system. I'm sick. Of course I got sick. Of course I got the flu. I'm going to get the flu. Oh, my daughter's sick. I'm going to get sick. Just constant. That's been my dialogue since I was a child, because I was a sickly child. And I just always believed that. I'm just sickly. And I stopped doing that. So I've been using affirmations literally every day. I say I am healthy, and I say it aloud, because when you say things aloud, it really goes into the unconscious, the subconscious in there. And your brain, your unconscious can't just, differentiate between reality and non-reality. So if you tell your brain every day I'm healthy, even if you are physically sick right now, your brain's going to start to believe it's healthy. So that was one, believing I'm healthy. And the second thing was surrendering to my body, and I stopped fighting my body. When you learn you have an autoimmune disorder, you feel like your body's turned against you. And I mean, that's what autoimmune means. Like, your body is turned against you and it's now attacking your thyroid or attacking another organ. I stopped believing that. And I believed that my body was doing its best. I gave my body grace. I started being grateful for my body. I started treating my body with love and care, giving it the self-care it needed. When I needed to rest, I rested. And I didn't talk bad about my body anymore. Not even like saying something like I want to lose weight or whatever. Just nothing bad about my body. Giving it the gratitude and surrendering to, this is what my body's doing right now, instead of going against it. God, why is my body so tired? Why am I so tired? Why am I sick? Like, why this? Not that. Instead, it's like, this is, my body needs rest right now. I'm going to give it rest. And so really, it's been the physical changes that the medical medium suggests, but also the spiritual changes of really surrendering to your body's natural ability to heal, believing that that can happen, telling yourself you're healthy, and changing that. So many people, when they're sick, become that illness. I have heart disease. I am heart disease. I have Hashimoto's. I am Hashimoto's. They tell everybody they know, and it becomes like something they talk about all the time. It's a badge on their sleeve. Like, it's just part of their identity. And I stopped doing that. Like, it disassociated. Like, I would say I'm healing my thyroid. I'm healing my body. I'm in the process of healing my body. Why don't you eat gluten? I'm in the process of healing my body. Instead of, I can't have gluten, or I'm sensitive to gluten, I'm allergic to gluten, whatever. It was just, I'm in the process of healing my body. And people aren't used to hearing that. People want to hear that you're sick and you're on prescription medicine and all that. I'm on no prescription medicine at all. I don't take painkillers. So if I don't feel well, I go to the chiropractor. Like today, my neck felt weird and I had a little headache. Went and saw my chiropractor. He's amazing. And he was actually also my health coach. So he's really supportive. I do a lot of self-massage with tennis balls and things like that, really working on the fascia of the body. I do yoga and I rest. It's so important to rest. And I know I'm saying this during this virus, and I know certain people are essential workers and other people are in the medical profession, but even if you do those things, you're not doing things on the weekend like you used to. You're not taking your kids to soccer or whatever. This is a worldwide pause and an excuse to rest more. And it's something our society and humans in general were neglecting. Rest is so important. If you're tired and you should rest. Chores can wait. Things can wait. If you don't want to do whatever, don't do it. Just rest. Even if you only rest every day for a few minutes here and there. You get done doing a chore, sit on the couch, close your eyes, and take some deep breaths. Being on your phone is not resting. So it has to be like a real resting. And it's something I consciously work towards. If you're interested, a really great book on that is from Thich Nhat Hanh, How to Relax. And it talks about that. So that's it. Following the medical medium's advice to a T to begin with, to get your body and your mind conditioned. Then easing up, seeing what works for you, using that intuition, believing you can heal, having faith in yourself that you can heal, changing your inner dialogue, changing what you say to others, and resting and surrendering to healing. We just get stuck in these labels. Like, I have this and that's just how it is. Well, what if that's not how it is? What if you can just heal? and proof that you can heal. And I am 38 years old, and I feel like I'm in my 20s. I feel great. I really do. And I thank the medical medium, because without him it wouldn't have happened. But it's also me having the faith in myself and changing my mindset to letting myself heal. Sometimes we stand in our own ways, and that's kind of been my biggest lesson. I hope this helps you. If you have questions on your healing journey, please, please, please reach out. I'm sending you lots of love and light.